Hello everyone, welcome back to Global Government News. This is the second video in this July 26th news bulletin. I am Darko, and we're moving into the latest on the Iranian news. This article is from the Associated Press and Haaretz.com. It's titled U.S. Strike on Iran Likelier Than Ever, former CIA chief says. Michael Hayden says Iran intends to reach the point where it's just below having a nuclear weapon, adding that such a step would be as destabilizing to the region as the real thing. The former CIA director says military action against Iran now seems more likely because no matter what the U.S. does diplomatically, Tehran keeps pushing ahead with the suspected nuclear program. And I guess to make a quick point, it comes down to whether you believe Iran is a developed nation, a postmodern nation. Do you believe that they are just a rogue axis of evil, like Bush accused them of being? And do you believe that they have the right to defend themselves? Because if you do, well then you would have to say that this preemptive attack, which U.S. authorities and officials deem is necessary to take out Iran, and the House Republicans just signed a bill within the past week that gave Israel the green light to attack Iran. We also have Israeli and U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf, specifically for Iran. Again, confirmed by the Western media and Western government officials. So you have that going. Saudi Arabia allowing flyovers and that into Iran. But so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Iran. We've imposed sanctions on them recently, and then we've had the Iranian government basically flex their muscles and say, "Okay, we're ready. Bring it on." Michael Hayden, a CIA chief under President George '66 Bush, said that during his tenure, quote, "a strike was way down the list of options," but he tells CNN's State of the Union that such actions now seem inevitable. And whether it's relevant or not, these same groups of people that come from these intelligence agencies like Leon Panetta and all them will do something called doublethink. I'm sure most of you already know what it is, but they'll say, oh, Iran isn't capable of producing or enriching weapons-grade uranium for nuclear purposes, and then they'll say, oh, well, they don't have it now, but then 3 years down the road they'll have it, and then they'll come out with an article and say, oh, well, they have it right now, the ability to enrich uranium. So I really don't know what to believe, but I do know that the IAEA has gone through there on numerous occasions, said that they're not capable of producing or enriching weapons-grade uranium as of right now. So that's what I know. And the last part here I'm going to cover is he says that, or he predicted Iran, in defiance of the international community, planned to, quote, get itself to that step right below a nuclear weapon, that permanent breakout stage, so the needle isn't quite in the red for the international community. Hayden said that reaching even that level would be, quote, as destabilizing to the region as actually having a weapon. And of course, this is the rhetoric that we always hear, right, before an invasion and an occupation, and that is that being close to having a weapon is just as much as having a weapon. So we can go through the same BS just like we did in Iraq, where we went to attack Iran, or we went to invade and occupy Iraq after Afghanistan because we said that Saddam Hussein in Iraq was responsible for 9/11, and then we said that when that didn't work, and the people were like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then they said, "Well, you have WMDs," and then it all came down to whether they had weapons of mass destruction, and then you come to find out that their program was actually scaled back and scaled down almost to the point of non-existence after the first Gulf War in the 90s, and that he wasn't really much of a threat. So we can go and we can do this all over again if we want to. Iran's military leaders tried to raise their nation's confidence in the face of a possible attack. This was posted today on America 20X Y.com, and it says Iran's military leaders are trying to reassure their people that the nation would stand strong against a possible U.S. or Israeli attack on its homeland if launched. Iranian state-controlled news agencies over the weekend featured a number of stories quoting high-ranking Iranian Republic Guard members who stressed that the nation was fully capable of repelling any assault that the U.S. threw at it. And it goes down and it says, the tough talk from Iran's military leaders, despite what they said, is a sign that its government believes the threat is real and is trying to raise its nation's confidence in the war of words before any real fighting begins. And then when you go down here, it says here, early in June 2010, in a Time magazine story titled "An Attack on Iran Back on the Table," author Joe Klein wrote, quote, "The U.S. Army's Central Command, which is in charge of organizing military ops in the Middle East, has made some real progress in planning targeted airstrikes on Iran, aided in large part by the vastly improved human intelligence operations in the region. There really wasn't a military option a year ago," an Israeli military source told me, "but they've gotten serious about the planning and the option is real now." And so yes, assassinations have been carried out in the past year, just one recently, and then another about 6 months ago on Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps troops, high military members, generals, and that. So you'll have a lot of strategic airstrikes on facilities. They'll say nuclear facilities, but half of them most likely will be civilians and or just regular production facilities. But yeah, so the assassinations will continue, and then if we do start to attack Iran, expect a false flag type terrorist attack, a Gulf of Tonkin attack, where Iranian gunboats, kind of like that one incident that they were trying a couple of years ago, Iranian gunboats chasing the U.S. warship out of their little water space. And so things of that nature will come back into play. So you'll see that, and you'll expect that. So just be ready for something with Israel, U.S., Iran, and false flag terrorist attacks. And you can ask, well, why would they do that? Why would they carry out attacks against themselves or allow themselves to be attacked? And the answer is, well, when the powers that be, for whatever reasons, want to do whatever it is that they want to do, if they can't get the political support, if the sheeple don't go along with it, well, then they have to attack their citizens or allow them to be attacked in order to get them, quote, off their ass and get ready for war. A war that they don't agree with. So that's why they do it. This next article is titled "The CIA Beyond Redemption and Should Be Terminated" from veteranstoday.com, posted 2 days ago, and it says the CIA, or Central Intelligence Agency, has confirmed the worst fears of its creator, President Harry Truman, that it might degenerate into, quote, an American Gestapo. It has been just that for so long. It is beyond redemption. It represents 60 years of failure and fascism, utterly at odds with the spirit of a democracy, and needs to be closed permanently. Over the years, the agency, as it is known, has given the U.S. president so much wrong information on so many critical issues, broken so many laws, subverted so many elections, overthrown so many governments. They're talking about covert, colored revolutions, psyops, funded so many dictators, and that's working for the IMF and World Bank, and killed and tortured so many innocent human beings that the pages of his official history could be written in blood, not people. And that's correct. Yeah, they are the strong arm for this global government, this global banking cartel system. And so they fund these wars. They help fund them. They help create wars. They help stop wars and uprisings. And the biggest thing is they kind of like to sway public opinion. They're pretty good about that. The NSA gets all the information, extracts all the information, and the CIA is good at starting wars and funding wars and diverting the public's attention and manipulating public opinion or managing it. So, and if we do go to war with Iran, we're definitely going to need some bodies. And so they came out with H.R. 5741, slave bill, now in committee. Mandatory service, introduced July 15, 2010 by Charles Rangel, H.R. 5741, will give the President the authority to, quote, require all persons in the United States between the ages of 18 and 42 to perform national